Sagittarius life in May. You are a little nervous and quite excited, and yet you do not know why. Life seems to be more electric, and whatever you touch has a certain spark. There seem to be so many possibilities and your expectations are high. You have this sense of something bubbling under the surface and getting ready to explode into life. It can be really hard to settle for one thing, and you will lack concentration as you always have one eye keeping a lookout for something more exciting and inspiring. Your curiosity is intense, and you are fascinated by anything new from world events, local gossip to technology. You may find it hard to concentrate, and this is definitely not a month to schedule any repetitive and arduous mental work that requires long hours of concentration. It is a month ideal for learning, brainstorming, experimenting with new ideas and adopting new technologies. Investigative journalists and also inventors will have too many ideas to play with and avenues to pursue, and that you become discombobulated and you have to work hard to keep a log of activities so that you can trace your thoughts back. You may find you get off on the wrong foot with people this month. It could be that you are making snap judgments about them, or maybe you will find that you are emitting so much electric energy that others find it hard to relax with you, and thus they cannot really project as they usually would. You are in a very honest frame of mind, and you are also quick to speak your mind, which means sporadic automatic gunfire of opinions which others may be hurt by, so not your most diplomatic month, but at least everyone will know where they stand. Sagittarius health in May. You tend to go into overdrive this month, ideas run through your head constantly, and you find it hard to unwind. You can be highly strung, and that can make you snappy and irritable. Your need for constant change, for stimulation and novelty, can have you jumping from thing to thing, never completing or getting bored before you get the benefit from what you are doing. Physical exercise, preferably outdoors, is vital. A good time for hiking, climbing, sailing, and adventure sports, which are challenging enough to keep you focused. You are highly competitive, but you are better off competing in sport rather than competing in the ideas realm by arguing on Twitter, which can just wind you up more. To help you stay calmer and more focused, do not skip breakfast. Do not have your coffee or tea on its own on an empty stomach. Do not leave it too long before you eat after you have been physically active. Make sure you eat a balanced meal about an hour after exercise. Do not replace meals with energy drinks or those fruit and nut meal replacement bars. Proper meals with a variety of food types are far better for keeping you calm and relaxed than any replacement meals or shakes. Low-carb, high-protein diets may exacerbate tension and so have a few more carb. Sagittarius love in May. Love can be a tricky area this month for reasons that should be obvious after my earlier discussion about tension, restlessness, and brutal honesty. You are not very patient, and your levels of empathy are lower. You have little truck for what you see as trivial, and to be honest, trivial is quite a broad concept for Sagittarius right now. You can react to the strangest things, and you are quite fussy. This is a time when Sagittarians will develop stronger likes and dislikes and even some new habits and quirks that will affect how you relate to your partner and your sex life in both interesting and unusual ways. You are quite changeable right now, and if your partner is rather set in their ways, they may find this disconcerting and wish that you would snap out of it, but you are quite enjoying this new phase. You will be attracting some new friends which your partner may not quite approve of, and dinner party conversation is going to get a lot more robust from now. Being polite and diplomatic is one heck of an effort, especially when it comes to anyone in her family who you have little time for. Your natural rhythms are rather out of sync, and that can make you totally disinterested in sex and affections, while at other times you are really randy. This can be an invigorating and dynamic phase in love as long as your partner is easygoing and gives you some space. It can become quite hostile if your partner wants to strap you down emotionally and preserve the status quo. Things do begin to flow better in the second half of the month, when you will both tend to be more affectionate and passionate and able to act on that without any interruptions. Sagittarius career in May. If you run your own business, you may be thinking of expanding and wondering how to do that. You may currently be running a small-scale business and doing most of the jobs yourself. You now have to look at what you do best and why you started in the industry you are in, to begin with, i.e., are you a creative who is great with developing ideas and finding clients, or are you an expert who likes to sit in the office crunching the data and letting others do the legwork? If you are the face of the business who loves to get out there in the thick of it with the clients or dealing with suppliers, you may need to get someone on board who is great with managing the finances and who can get your core admin and financial systems ticking. If you like to do all the detail work, you may need a salesperson who is an expert in PR and can deal with your clients and sell your product or service. To grow your business now, you need to focus more on what you do best and bring in people who have great track records in managing the parts of the business you are weaker in or have less affinity with. Even in larger scale businesses, you are ready to bring in some experts, especially when it comes to the technology side of things, to take all parts of your work into the digital or even AI era. With Uranus entering your 6th house of work this month, there is no reverse gear, Sagittarius. You can now make big money by being pioneering. So you need to think about what is going to be happening in the next 7 years, from driverless cars, automated building sites, Amazon deliveries by drone, Brexit, new markets, etc., and think how that will affect your business and how you can get an advantage by planning ahead for these things now. Embrace the future. You may well not agree with everything that is happening, but that's a matter for philosophy. Business-wise, you can gain financially from changes as soon as you accept that they are coming and look for ways to profit from them. The moon waxes from the 15th to the 29th, making this showtime, time to raise the curtain on new initiatives and ideas. Most activities are favored, especially electronic art forms, music production, editing, and graphic design. Creating 3D models and designing eco-friendly buildings is also indicated. Some caution is needed in travel and also new trade contracts. Communications must be checked regarding accuracy, as no facts can be taken for granted, and so make sure all sources are reliable.